Ada collapsed. Not slowly, not gently. She hit the ground hard, her body weak from hours under the burning sun. The students around her froze in shock. Ada! Ada! Someone screamed. But the woman standing in front of her didn't move. Madame Ruth simply folded her arms. Maybe next time, she said coldly. You will learn to come to school on time. Bright's future secondary school was known for excellence. But behind the clean uniforms and high test scores, there was fear. And at the center of that fear was one person. Madame Ruth. She wasn't just strict. She was something else entirely. Students whispered about her in corners. Some avoided her gaze completely. Others prayed not to be noticed. Because once she noticed you, you were finished. Madame Ruth had rules. And breaking them came with consequences no student could forget. Late to class. Kneel outside. Wrong answer. Public humiliation. Homework incomplete. Be ready to cry. But it didn't stop there. She didn't just punish mistakes. She enjoyed it. Stupid child, she would shout. Is this what you came to school for? The classroom would go silent. No one dared defend the victim. Because today it might be them. Tomorrow, it could be you. Among all the students, one stood out. Not because she was loud, but because she endured. Her name was Ada. Ada was brilliant. Always among the top in class. Always respectful. Always quiet. But Ada had a secret life no one talked about. Every morning before school, she hawked goods on the roadside. Ground nuts. Sachet water. Sometimes fruits. Not because she wanted to, but because she had to. Her mother was sick. And Ada was the only one holding the family together. That morning, the sun was already high when Ada ran into the school compound. Her uniform was slightly dusty. Her slippers worn out. She was late. Again. The moment she stepped into the classroom, silence fell. Madame Ruth slowly turned. Ada. Her voice alone could freeze blood. Why are you late? Ada swallowed. More. Come forward. Each step Ada took felt heavier than the last. Explain yourself. More. I was helping my mother. Slap. The sound echoed across the room. A collective gasp followed. You are lying. Madame Ruth snapped. Always an excuse with you. Tears filled Ada's eyes. But she didn't cry. Not yet. Go outside, Madame Ruth said, pointing to the door. Kneel down. Hands up. More, please. Now. Ada rushed out. The sun was unforgiving. The ground was hot. But she knelt. Minutes passed. Then an hour. Then another. Inside the classroom, lessons continued. Outside, Ada suffered. Some students glanced through the window. No one spoke. Because no one wanted to join her. By break time, Ada was still outside. Her hands were shaking. Her lips were dry. But she remained there. Obedient. Broken. A group of students gathered quietly. Should we tell the principal? One whispered. And say what? Another replied. You want to get punished too? Fear won. As always. But someone was watching. A new student. His name was Michael. He had just transferred to the school. And unlike the others, he wasn't used to this. This isn't normal, he muttered. He stepped closer to the window, watching Ada struggle to stay upright. His fist clenched. Why is nobody doing anything? No one answered him. Because everyone already knew the truth. In this school, you survive by staying silent. By the time classes were ending, Ada's vision had blurred. The sun felt heavier. The ground seemed to spin. She tried to steady herself, but her body gave up. She collapsed. Hard. Students screamed. Chairs fell. Chaos erupted. But Madam Ruth. She simply walked to the door, looked down at Ada's unconscious body, and said coldly, "Carry her to the sick bay." Ada lay motionless on the narrow bed in the sick bay. Her skin was pale. Her lips dry. Her breathing shallow. A small crowd gathered outside. Students whispered, "Is she going to be okay? She was under the sun since morning. Madam Ruth will be in trouble this time." The school nurse shook her head. "This child is severely dehydrated," she said. "Who allowed this?" No one answered. Because everyone knew. That silence didn't last long. "I knew who did it." All heads turned. It was Michael. Standing firm. "She was punished," he continued. "For being late." The nurse frowned. "For how long?" Michael hesitated, then said it. "Since morning." A wave of murmurs spread across the room. "That's inhuman. How can a teacher do that? This has gone too far." For the first time, fear began to crack. Meanwhile, Madam Ruth sat calmly in the staff room, marking scripts. As if nothing had happened. A fellow teacher approached her. "Ruth, I heard what happened." She didn't look up. "Students exaggerate," she replied. "She fainted. Then she should learn responsibility. This is serious." Madam Ruth finally raised her head. "I am not here to pamper children," she said. "I am here to discipline them." Later that evening, Ada's mother arrived at the school. Weak. Fragile. Leaning on a walking stick. When she saw Ada lying there, tears flowed instantly. "My child, what happened to you?" Ada tried to speak, but her voice was faint. "I'm sorry, Mama." The nurse stepped forward. "Madam, your daughter has been overworking herself. She's been skipping meals, exposing herself to harsh conditions." The mother looked confused. "Overworking?" Michael stepped in. "She hawks every morning before school," he said quietly. The room went silent. The nurse turned sharply. "She does what?" Ada's mother broke down. "I had no choice," she cried. "I've been sick for months, she's the one taking care of me." Gasps filled the room. All this time, while she was being punished for lateness, she was fighting to survive. The next morning, the school was no longer calm. Parents had started hearing rumors. Whispers turned into anger. And anger turned into action. A group of parents stormed into the school compound. "We want answers. Who punished that girl? This cannot be ignored." The principal tried to maintain order. "Please, calm down." "No," one parent shouted. "This is how it starts. Today it is her, tomorrow it will be our children." An emergency meeting was called. Madam Ruth sat across the table. Unbothered. "Did you punish the student?" the principal asked. "Yes." "For how long?" "She remained outside during my lesson." "That's not what I asked." Silence. Several hours. The room erupted. "That's abuse. She could have died." But Madam Ruth didn't flinch. "If you remove discipline," she said, "you destroy the future of these children." That's when something unexpected happened. A student stood up. Then another. Then another. "I was punished like that too. She made me kneel on stones. She insulted me." One girl stepped forward, trembling. She slapped me because I couldn't pay my school fees on time. Silence. This wasn't one incident. It was a pattern. For the first time, Madam Ruth's expression changed. You are all weak, she snapped. That is your problem. The principal slammed his hand on the table. Enough. This school will not tolerate cruelty. An official investigation began. Madam Ruth was suspended. But as she stood to leave, she turned back. This is not over. The news spread like wildfire. Madam Ruth had been suspended. Students whispered. Relieved, but still uneasy. Because even in her absence, her shadow remained. The investigation uncovered something shocking. Madam Ruth hadn't always been like this. Years ago, she was kind, passionate, loving. Then came the truth. She had a daughter. Somi. Bright. Loving. But one day, Somi never came home. She died in an accident. On her way back from school. After playing instead of going straight home. Madam Ruth never recovered. Her pain turned into obsession. Discipline became her weapon. She changed, a colleague said. She thought fear would protect children. But she lost her humanity. When students heard the story, some felt sympathy. Others didn't. That doesn't justify what she did, Michael said. And he was right. Then one day, Madam Ruth returned. Standing at the school gate. Demanding to be let in. I want to see the principal. Students watched from a distance. Fear returned instantly. You think you've won, she shouted. This school is weak. We stopped abuse, the principal replied. Abuse, she snapped. Then suddenly, she broke. My daughter is dead, she screamed. I tried to protect her, and I lost her. I will not watch other children destroy their lives. Silence fell. For the first time, she wasn't a monster. She was a broken woman. Then Ada appeared. Weak, but standing. Supported by her mother. She stepped forward slowly. More. I understand your pain. Madam Ruth froze. But you hurt me. You didn't protect me. You punished me when I was already suffering. Madam Ruth had no response. No defense. Only truth. She looked around. At the fear. At the damage. Then back at Ada. She began. I am sorry. Gasps filled the air. I was wrong. I let my pain turn me into something I don't recognize. Everyone waited. Ada took a breath. I won't lie, you hurt me deeply. Madam Ruth closed her eyes. But I don't want to carry hatred. I forgive you. Before relief could settle, the principal spoke. Forgiveness does not erase consequences. You are dismissed. Madam Ruth didn't argue. She simply turned and walked away. Alone. Weeks later, the school changed. Students smiled more. Teachers listened more. Ada returned. Stronger. Michael sat beside her. You changed everything. Ada smiled. No, we did. When we stopped being silent. Pain can shape a person. But it should never be used to hurt others. Authority is not power to destroy. It is responsibility to protect. If this story touched you, like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me, did she deserve forgiveness or punishment? Because sometimes, the hardest lessons come from the deepest pain.